Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I will show you the tutorial to the trick you may have seen yesterday or sometime in the past, the Static Sniffer Dog.
The great Wu Ding's gonna do a thing.
So, firstly I'll take you through a quick run through of how it works and the methods and what I'm using for those people who want to know now. Then I'll go into more detail for those of you that want that, into showing how the gimmicks are used, how the gimmicks are made, and talking about the presentation of the trick. And then thirdly, maybe I might go more in depth, showing you exactly how I'm doing it. So without further ado, let's crack on. So here's how it worked. This sniffer dog sniffed through these cards, and is that the right one? Yes, it is. Sniffed its way and found this card. The patter was using static electricity. Oh no. Can you hear that? Can this camera pick it up? In the snout of the dog is a magnet. In the corner of this card is a magnet. And the dog connects to the magnets. It's as simple as that. So, long story short, this card was on top and I forced it, and then I shuffled because it didn't matter where the card ended up. Let's say it ended up which way around to the magnet. Oh yes, making sure the orientation was the right way so that the magnet was sticking out this way. Then I snuck the magnet into the balloon. It was already in there to begin with. The magnet was already in the balloon in its deflated state, stuck in the neck, and then I just blew it up. And as I made the dog, I made sure that the magnet was in the snout, so that it will now sniff, 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 and it should find that card. That's a simple rundown. Now into slightly more detail. First of all, the card. So I'll show it to this camera, I hope it can see. The magnet's in this corner. I don't know if that camera will pick it up. It shouldn't do on that side, but it probably will on this side. Now the reason for that is I have split this card. I'm not going to do a tutorial now on card splitting. Google it, type it into YouTube, card splitting. Basically what card splitting is, there's 3 layers in a playing card: a paper layer on the face, a paper layer on the back, and kind of a cardboard layer in between. So what I've done is I've peeled off the top layer of paper and then put the magnet in, bit of a Pritt stick, and put back that first paper layer. So that is why on the back you shouldn't be able to see anything too drastic, but on the front you can see a lump where the magnet is. That's because it goes paper, magnet, cardboard, paper. So that side is thicker than that side. Now this is just one way of making the gimmick. I have a few more options. 4 of diamonds and the 4 of hearts. The 4 of diamonds was my first attempt at splitting a card, and it's more obvious than the Queen of Diamonds that I actually used. There's how the Queen of Diamonds looks, because on the Queen of Diamonds I split it and put the magnet on the face, and on the 4 of Diamonds I split it and put the magnet on the back, so it goes paper, cardboard, paper, and on the Queen it goes paper, cardboard, paper. So it doesn't really matter which way the magnet is. The orientation of the magnet doesn't matter, because the magnet in the dog is just loose and it will attract, it will find it whichever way it is, amazingly. The other method, which is probably the cleanest to look at after, there we go, the magnet is in this corner here, and it can't be seen, I don't think, from the face of the card, and it can't be seen, I don't think, from the back of the card. that is because this is a double card. I'll show you with one I prepared earlier. Here's some blue cards just for reference. So what I did, let me grab my magnets stuck to the bell. The magnets I'm using are neodymium, and I think it's 10 millimeters diameter, and then the width is something very small. I'll leave a link in the description to what this magnet is, and this was the same magnet I used in the balloon. However, it is a bit too big for the balloon, to be honest, but we'll get to that later. So in creating the gimmick, I simply put the magnet in the corner that I wanted, Pritt sticked this, and matched them all up like so. And with them all stuck together, that would of course attract, I'll just use me block of magnets here, it would attract, oh, that just pulled it out, did you see that? Wow. That would attract like so. So that's probably the easiest way, and with this one at the end of the trick you can display it cleanly. I think when I displayed which one did I use? The Queen. I always had my hand over the bit where the magnet was protruding. In showing the Queen at the end, I always covered this corner. So I showed the back, which is fine, you can't see it, and then I brought my hand over like that to show the face of it, because I didn't want you to see any lumpy bumpy business. Although I don't know, can it pick it up? Could I have been freer with this card? Especially if I moved it a bit, you know, it's fine. It's fine, probably. But if you're scared of the magnet showing, that's the best way. 2 cards, magnet in the corner, stick. Great. In terms of the trick itself, I started with the Queen on top. The force I did was just a standard crisscross force where they would cut the cards and put the rest of the pack the other way around. And then with a bit of time misdirection, when I take this one back off, they think that was the card they cut to, when actually that was the top card. I made sure I was whichever orientation it was, I kept track of it from out of the pack, that I had my hand over the magnet corner. And then when I put them all back together, I made sure I kept track of the magnet corner. So whenever I shuffled now, I don't mind where the card is in the packet, but I do mind which corner the magnet is in. Magnet. So that when I spread, I know that the magnet's going to be on the outer face. And then that way, when I go through with the balloon, I go from right to left, sniffing like so. And it will find the card every time. So let's talk about the balloon. The first attempt is my stack of magnets. My first attempt, I tried to break the magnet. Can you see there? That top one is one magnet broken into quarters, and basically that popped the balloon. If you've got smaller magnets, maybe slot a smaller magnet into the neck of the balloon, and then it'll go all the way down, possibly. And then in the bag, you just keep track of that balloon, have it near the top. What I did do, and I say it popped the first time, annoying, I cut a small hole in the back of this bag and fed in the balloon with the magnet so that I could open the bag live on camera. You didn't see that take because I ruined it and my balloon popped. But in the ideal world, that's what would have happened. I would have opened the bag and picked out the balloon that I'd already put there. So anyway, you could have a small magnet loose in the balloon. So when tying the knot, this is crucial now. Balloons are a bit noisy. I think I've got one here. So this doesn't have a magnet in it, but the sound of the magnet, here's the dog, you can hear that magnet around in the balloon. But balloons are noisy things. Just in moving the balloon, should hide the noise that there's a magnet in there, especially if you're hitting against yourself as you do it. Now, if the magnet is loose in there, basically hold it that way down and do your static electricity move, and it should be down here. Then make your first twist. Once you've made your first twist, it will be locked in this snout section. I'm not going to teach you how to make a balloon dog. Type in into YouTube balloon dog tutorial, or just watch my performance and slow it down. I'm not the best to teach that. Anyway, the reason I'm showing you this balloon is because this was an earlier take where I thought I'd gone wrong. I thought I'd ruined the whole trick because, listen, there is no magnet in this balloon. I thought I'd picked the wrong balloon out of the bag. I was really annoyed. It's not shaking like that one. There is no magnet in this balloon. Even though there is no magnet in this balloon, it will still pick up the card. It is nothing to do with the static electricity. There is a magnet in this balloon. Let's see if this camera will pick it up. I managed to tie the magnet into the knot. I tied the magnet into the knot, which means it isn't in the balloon rattling around, but it's perfectly controlled and will always be in the snout of the dog once it's finished. So pros and cons of this method, and you just have to practice a few times tying the knot until you manage to get it in the knot like that. Pros and cons. The orientation of the magnet is therefore fixed. If you get it the wrong way, would it be able to pick up? At the very least, it would move the card as the magnet repelled if it was the wrong way, and it might just force it out of the deck a little bit. Enough for you to have the same effect. Oh look, the dog has sniffed out this card. But it does free you up to be much cleaner and smoother with the balloon. However, visually, they might see that. Who knows? It depends what you would rather. A big magnet on the knot, which no one would be looking for, but it's visual, and it's visual exactly where it's going to pick up the card, or the magnet inside the dog, which is potentially noisy, but possibly invisible. The darker the balloon will cover the magnet. And that's it. I think I've explained everything as well as I can. I'll just go through the trick as I did it very quickly. So you can go back and watch my performance having heard my tutorial, and you can see from that performance exactly where and when I did certain things. But essentially, top card, magnet in the box like that. And again, go and watch the video to see the patter, to see what I say. A few not very funny jokes. That's just my style. Sorry. So, card trick then. Get the pack out, remembering the orientation of the magnet, and do some shuffling. Sure. Who doesn't like shuffling? Keep the magnet on top. That's all you have to do now. You can do any shuffle you like. So you need to know that it's on top, and you need to know the orientation of the magnet. Then you do a force, any force you like. The force I did, as I've already explained, is the cross cut. So cut any amount of cards and place the other ones laterally, opposing, and then just talk, then have a bit of time as misdirection, and that's the card you cut to. No, it's not, but they'll probably think it is. Now, if you've noted where the magnet is, you can pick it up by that corner so that they can't see the lumpy bumpy magnet, and then put it back where it was, and put the cards on top. Now there's a thickness of a magnet. I don't know how the camera picks that up there. It's not a flush deck. Never mind. And then what did I do after that? A few more cuts, some shuffles, whatever you like really, because at this point you don't mind where the card is. All you care about is the orientation of the magnet, and spread. Oh, hopefully you've got a better map than me. The spread will be nicer. Then you make your balloon dog however you want. Do you want the magnet in the, so do you want it in the knot or in the snout? So make your dog, get some static. You could have even, as you showed them their card, you could have rubbed that card as well to say that one's statically charged and the dog is statically charged. Come on, I know it's your first day on the job, Sniffer Dog. Oh, and there it is. Now sometimes, if the cards aren't spread very well, it may pick up 2 cards. Come on, it's picked up 2. What you would do if it picks up 2, don't flash that bottom one, because the bottom one will be the spectator's selection. So just bring it up, oh, it's got 2. Take them off the dog and say, oh, what you called the Static Sniffer Dog, Sniffer Static Dog. The dog has narrowed it down to 2. You know that it was the bottom one. Put that to the left or the side you know. Let's see, he's going to have a closer sniff now. No, he's not sure about that one. Maybe this one. Oh, yes, definitely this one. And then that's that card. And that's it. That's the effect. If you perform this ever, hashtag the Great Woo Ding. Give me a reference. That'd be great. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. This is one of my first tutorials. Please do comment. It'll be helpful for me to be helpful to you. Tell me if this was clear enough. Tell me if I overdid it or underdid it, whatever. Alright, there we go. That was the tutorial to the Static Sniffer Dog. I am Mark Wooding, or the Great Woo Ding.
The Great Woo, the Great Woo Ding, the Great Woo Ding just did a thing.